Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I am currently going through the biggest backlog of books I think I've had in a really long time. I've just been, I don't know, reading other things, namely fan fiction and Kindle Unlimited, but I've deleted those now. Not fan fiction, but Kindle Unlimited. It's gone from my life, cut off. I've done all the reading I need to do in that respect. I feel like I am all caught up with my autumn spicy content, and now I'm officially back to reading other books. So this is what I'm currently working with. So this is the first batch. You probably can't see any of that, but yeah. And then this is the next batch. Yeah. And then I've got the Jordan Peele manuscripts, play scripts, that my cousin kindly got for me because she lives in New York. So I ordered them to her apartment in New York. And when she came back home a couple of weeks ago, she brought them home for me. So I've got Us and I also have Get Out. I'm really excited about these just because I get to read a bit more into script writing craft. And I think that's something that I really want to get into and I've been working a lot on. But sometimes it can be quite hard when you don't have references of work that you would like. And also I'm a massive lover of like physical literature, so these are amazing to be able to get. So thanks to my cousin for bringing these back home with her. And then literally also these, which are all non-fiction reads. Yeah, so I think if we're breaking this video down, let's talk non-fiction first. So at the moment, Diane Abbott's A Woman Like Me. Started it, haven't finished it. My mum went to the talk that Diane Abbott did a little while back. I was supposed to go, but then I ended up having to do something else on that night, so I couldn't go anymore. I double booked myself, story of my life. So my mum ended up going and really, really enjoyed it. And actually, she's not much of a reader, but it made her want to read the book. So at some point she's going to read it, I'm going to read it. And I actually quite like how it's not too weighty, I want to say. And this was actually given to me prior to release, so I got this a while back from the publisher, so that's Penguin. So yeah, that's that. And then also my non-fiction list at the moment, Lola Young's 8 Weeks, that's Baroness Lola Young actually. And you can tell probably that this is literally the spiral bound version of this book. This book isn't out until the end of November, but it's absolute pleasure to read. I also read Ashley, I'm going to forget his surname now. I'll insert the book somewhere here. But the BBC presenter, Ashley, also wrote a book about being in care and growing up in the care system and kind of coming out of it on the other side of being, after being 18. And this is a really similar story with Baroness Lola Young, except that she talks a lot about obviously the sort of policies and kind of her advocacy work, and how a lot of her youth and her childhood informed her decision to kind of go and look deeper into where she was, because at the time she was told that the place that she knew that she stayed when she was small wasn't where she was actually staying, and she was convinced it was that. So she kind of goes on the hunt for her records, and it's a really, really powerful book. And I was actually really lucky enough to interview the Baroness about a month ago now, so that hopefully that interview should be on its way to you guys soon this month. I'm really excited for it because we had such a good conversation and it was really in depth, and she just is a fountain of knowledge. And even I was just like, outside of this, I would love to just sit down and chat with you some more, because she works in a lot of spaces like anti-human trafficking and like modern day slavery in spaces which I really have a kind of vested crossover interest in. So that was really, really nice to chat to her about that. So yeah, the interview should be out very, very soon, hopefully. Then I have After Sex, which was recommended to me by Mira at Roundtable Books in Brixton. If you don't know about Roundtable Books, get to know. I literally love them. I'm never really in Brixton too much, but when I am, I always make an effort to go and stop by and to buy books, which obviously doesn't help with the fact that I have this massive backlog of content to read, but I couldn't help myself, and I think I wanted something critical. I tend to read a lot of non-fiction that is like biographical, or yeah, like about people's lives rather than like kind of critical works. So this was something I really wanted to pick up, and I think learning more about like gender and sex is something that I want to do, that I want to be more versed on, because I think it kind of informs a lot of my writing practice anyway. So yeah, I'm hoping that this will give me a lot of insight and a lot of references, and a lot of kind of focus in the way that I choose to write in the future. Then we have Loud, which is by Drew. This, oh my gosh, wow. I'm really excited to read this. I've not actually started it yet, but like knowing the kind of person that she is and the presence that she is on social media, she's unapologetically herself. She knows when to kind of like really speak her truth and to speak it well. And I think just reading about her journey in her story and the things that she gives insight to will actually really be helpful. And I think it's kind of like self-help slash feminist vibes, but in a much more positive, much more inclusive, much more diverse way. So I'm very excited to actually read this, and it feels like it could be quite of a nice, cozy winter read, as weird as that sounds, but it just kind of gives off that vibe to me. So that's exciting too. And then on to fiction. There's so much here. There's literally ridiculous amounts of fiction here. The first one is probably this. It's what I'm currently reading. It was originally Sosa's House of Horror book club read, but I missed book club, but I bought the book. So I'm currently reading this. I'm really enjoying it. It's like body horror, and I love body horror. I love horror in general, but I love body horror. And it's body horror in a way that it's not any of the main characters that I'm aware of yet experience the transformation and this horror. It's actually external to the main protagonists. But I do believe that maybe we get the person going through the transformations point of view at some point, because each of the chapters is named after a person within the book. And I feel like this book just basically deals on like family, relationships, grief, because in this book actually it's about a family struggling with the death of a child who actually, I want to say he was terminally ill. So he wasn't expected to live that long, but he lived past what he was supposed to, and that gave them a lot of hope, and then he died. And it's not a spoiler, but essentially the mother cuts out the lung of her son, well, part of the lung of her son, and she grows it to be this sentient being, this monster, and it kind of follows the journey of the family and the husband and the wife and the friends accepting like this entity, this thing into their lives, which obviously isn't the child that died, but it is something akin to that. I'm really looking forward to getting through this. It's really intrigued me already. I love the dynamics of relationships. I also just love Mexican writers, like in general, like writers from that part of the world just seem to really have a way with like horror and the monstrous, and it just gets me every time. So yeah, amazing.